Whether you have a Ford 250 in a lake house, whether you're an electrician with a boat, contractor with a family, a farmer with land, a dock worker investing in property, and a tradesman that appreciates quality. This is Bricks Coffee Media, and this episode is the first bag. I am your host. I am CEO of Bricks Coffee Farmer, Derek Harper, aka Brick, and I am super excited about this episode because it is called the first bag. Everybody sees product, but they don't always see the process. They don't see the late nights, the doubts, the ideas written down at 2 in the morning. The moment where you actually wonder if anything is actually going to work. Today, I'm holding the very first bag of Bricks Coffee. And honestly, guys, this moment means more than people probably actually will realize in this episode, because this isn't just coffee. This isn't just coffee. This is a vision. This is faith work. This is risk. This is family. So Bricks Coffee Media is giving you something to talk about today, something to delve into that feels like we finally are holding the first piece of something that we believed in before anyone else could see it. Before we get started, make sure that you guys subscribe to this episode. This episode is brought to you by Bricks Coffee, crafted for early mornings, long work days, and people building something real. Whether you're heading to work, chasing a dream, or building a business brick by brick, Bricks Coffee was made for real life. Real coffee for real days. Shop now at brickscoffee.com. The link is in the description. There's branding. There's a world filled with avenues towards success. And now we sit here proving that that is real. So we're going to talk about Bricks Coffee. We're going to be talking about wanting ownership. I didn't want to buy a business, right? I didn't want to buy a business because in this day and age, if you buy a business, you are buying a 9 to 5. And when it comes to entrepreneurship, we understand that entrepreneurship is a tricky path, especially with social media, when everybody has to be tapped into your pockets. Everyone has to be tapped into what's present. Seeing is believing, which makes entrepreneurship a very lonely and trying path. So from the instincts of details, the instincts to use details that I've learned along the way, whether it was working a 9 to 5, or I started a business and sold it, or I started a business and failed, or I started a business and I learned from the experience. I wanted to control. I wanted to control a business. I didn't want to own a business. I didn't want to buy a business. I didn't want to buy a 9 to 5. I wanted to own and control those things. And just like in the last episode, I just talked about the power of investing in real time. There's so many different ways you can put yourself in position to invest in long-term wealth, right? A lot of people look for the big hit. A lot of people are looking for the have-nows. And the trick to the trade is being able to put yourself in position, no matter where you're at in life, to invest for future future opportunities that can secure security for your family, whether, that can be decisions, that could be a health, but all things are applicable, whether it's your spiritual life, your health, or your finances. If you don't brush your teeth every day, if you don't brush your teeth every day, there's going to be a time where the consequences will be, all your teeth are going to fall out, right? And if you find out that that's going to happen, you're going to be doing a lot of brushing to prevent that from happening. But at that point, the damage is so confirmed that it's pointless. So you want to be able to look at your finances, um, and maybe your family disposition the same way. Just like you get up and brush your teeth every day, you should get up and figure out a way to sharpen your finances for long-term stability. Uh, I have nothing against, 9 to 5s and 401ks, but when it comes to leveraging, when it comes to financial security, when it comes to financial literacy, you can put yourself in position to be successful in the future by what you do now. And when I said I didn't want to own, I wanted to control. I wanted to invest in real life, right? Real life stock, right? In a different manner. I wanted to put sweat equity into it. I wanted to cement my terms of equity and have fun by doing it traditionally, and doing it the blue collar way. And we decided to invest in the future, which is coffee. For those of you who don't know what futures are, if you look into stock and investings, futures are, is coffee, wheat, those types of things that you know can appreciate, or demand is very common. Coffee is the second most consumed liquid in the world next to water. And we just look at the dynamics of what investing is, and taking those systems, not goals, right? We're at a point in our life where we're not just looking for goals, we're looking for systems. You take those same systems and you apply that around the business that you control. You have a real time, long term investment with the key terminology of being able to double your money, right? The key terms of just doubling your money. And we've been on an interesting journey up until this point, me and my wife, up until this point. And when it comes to this entrepreneurial path, is I've been having a blast psychologically. I could have put my energy in a plethora of things and committed and satisfied or quenched other people's opinions of what it is that I do early on. But there's just something about me that I feel like God um, wanted me to be different. And I just chose to continue to embark upon a path and follow in my heart until I felt like it was right. And looking at the statuses of society, social norms, and social media, the economy, man, we decided to start a business by investing and controlling our own coffee brand, investing in by business acquisition, coffee farming, and doing e-commerce, and eventually we'll put ourselves in position to scale. Now, entrepreneurship. Um, you know, just before I get into the episode, wanting ownership, I just want to say, in this aspect is special because I'm just going to say this name, Howard Schultz. Howard Schultz is someone that I look up to, someone that I study. He is a dynamic entrepreneur that has the cliche entrepreneurial story. Being married, I'm married. His wife supported him. My wife supports me. Being blessed to experience that, and when it comes to you do replacing and don't do no complaining and standing on your 10 toes and being able to support and sticking with your dreams and not shifting the pendulum over other people's circumstances and their beliefs in terms of what they think your life should look like. We decided to say that we want ownership, and we want to control everything. We want to build something meaningful, and it's coffee. So the culture, the blue collar culture, being traditional, when we delved into it, and especially being around Southern Massachusetts, we got a chance to look at um, we got a chance to look at different. We got a chance to see a plethora of people that were sending a message in such silent cues. The families that are peaceful, uh, the families the working men that get up early, and the working families that get up early and they build that foundation, that long term foundation, through blue collar work, traditional work. We found out that we figured out a culture, and we wanted to cultivate that culture because that was us, being from the city and understanding that traditional handshake, and a man, all a man has is his word, and experiencing that in Southern Massachusetts. We said we wanted to cultivate that, but at the same time, we want to represent what we want our family to represent, and that's legacy. And we came up with the name Bricks Coffee because when we came together, we had to start over. I was successful in a specific lane of work, but there was just so much disagreement. There was so much jealousy and hate that I got out of that, and we looked at each other and we said that we was going to build brick by brick by brick. Will Smith had this interesting story about his father telling him, the importance of laying a brick one brick at a time, creating a strong foundation, and falling in love with that. And why not start something that stands for more than just myself, ourselves, and for our kids, and we named it Bricks Coffee. Now, in the midst of that, we're trying to create a lifestyle brand and a family business that can identify around work ethic and routine. Now, Bricks Coffee didn't start as some giant corporation idea that we snagged from somewhere. This is a bunch of systems and frameworks from financial literacy as a normal human being and starting a business traditionally, with successful frameworks that creates a well-oiled machine. And and it started as an idea. It started out as a vision, that actually represent real people. Premium coffee for people that's building in real life. Strong coffee for real days. People who wake up early, work hard, build businesses, take care of families, and love the outdoors and keep showing up every single day. Um, and at this point, I'm giving you guys in real time what that looks like. When you're in my position, I like to look at signs. I like to look at, because to stay rooted on the path, you got to be able to see the monikers in life that allows you to, that says to you that this is the path that you're supposed to be on. And um, coming together and putting this together, from my experience, I knew that we was on to something because of my life experience, um, in terms of right and wrongs, things don't look right, things that don't feel right, things that's not consistent, things that are not as, um, how can I say, as transparent. Nothing shallow. We can follow. There's there's so many different ups and downs in life, and if you're not learning from your lessons, you're not growing. If you're doing the same thing at your 50s that you was doing in your 20s, you've wasted 30 years of your life. And I pride myself on growth. And right now, this episode is strictly about growth, right? Right now, I want to share with you guys something special to me, something special for you. I want to give you guys the culture. I want to give you guys the lifestyle. Um, and right now, I want to present to you the first bag, okay? The first bag hand delivered from our coffee farm in Bolivia, okay? That we're actually going to, in real time, brew this We're gonna do an episode. We're gonna brew this and give you guys the actual DNA of our coffee. But this is Bricks Coffee. This is the Cowboy Blend. If you can see, it says Cowboy Blend. Okay, this is a standard grind. All right, this roast is medium dark, and the ingredients is just pure coffee from Mother Earth. Okay, in terms of the temperature in terms of where it's grown, is exclusive, and this is premium top tier coffee for real people building real life. And this this right here is what's next. I want to I just want to say, you know, this doesn't happen. This doesn't happen, right? This doesn't happen if you do not have framework. And when I talk about framework, I talk about, you know, accumulating the pros and cons of things that you've learned and putting together a website that gives a customer experience, that gives cause, designing a logo. As you can see, we had to test certain things to, to invest or to acquire the business of the farm that generates this. And if you smell it, oh my God! If you smell it, it's extremely natural, man. This is really, putting in perspective strategy, content creating and learning while we're building, getting rid of self doubt, staying consistent. People usually only see the finished product, but entrepreneurship is really a process. It's a process. It's a process. It's a process of figuring out things in real time. Okay. Now you learn, you fail, you adjust, then you keep building. This is the ultimate golden rule to entrepreneurship. And with this bag, what I'm presenting to you right now, because there'll be plenty more, but with this bag, this is an opportunity for you guys, um, to experience. Um, you know, I get blown away when I see ISO Speed on his streams, and I see how the confidence is absolutely through the roof. His confidence is absolutely admirable. And, you know, we all have a talent. I do believe that my talent is being a creative, is being a personality, being a mind, a back end mind. and and I look at that and I relate to it because he started out in Cincinnati in the basement of his grandmother's house, and look at where he's at now, right? There's something about this family dynamic that I truly believe in. I believe that this coffee, I believe that when we have our interviews, when we're streaming our content, I believe that this will be an exclusive brand. Um, within a year, 6 months to a year, or a year and a half. I believe that this is something that will create a shift and create an algorithm. So, you know, Bricks Coffee is built for the entrepreneurs, the tradesmen, the outdoorsmen, the creators, the hardworking people building something bigger than themselves. So, fuel your mornings with Brick Coffee, real coffee for real days, available now at brickscoffee.com. Now, you you may not see the emotion, but if you look, you see the logo, the intentionality, brick by brick. If you talk about bricks, the name bricks, yeah, it is brick by brick, but there's something special about bricks that actually signifies the family. Um, this is an emotional payoff for me because uh, the grind is going to be real, no pun intended. And and why small milestones matter is because gratitude, being present, is the key to growth and scalability. I feel like if you're able to be present and really talk with people, because people can feel the standoffness, and people treat you how you treat yourself. I do believe that If you can have a successful conversation by being present and being grateful, you can get things out of that conversation that can propel you into a different aspect of your life. Um, you know, and this motivates me to keep going because right now, we have systems, right? You know what I mean? Holding the first bag, it's a different vibe, right? This is going to be cased. This bag is going to be cased. Cowboy blend, Cowboy blend medium roast. This bag will be cased, right? And like I said, Howard Schultz. I want to be the Howard Schultz of my company, right? Uh, because suddenly the vision is now tangible. It stopped being an idea in my head, and now it's real. And sometimes those small moments matter the most because they remind you that progress is happening. So this is more than coffee because we have a cause where we're supporting local farms, where we're facing an economy right now where a lot of farms can't really survive. Trade skill support, where a lot of people, if you watch my first episode, a lot of people are not in trades right now, and they are, tradesmen are looking to hire, but it's hard because a lot of the young individuals are moving away from trades. Hardworking families, hardworking families that are, creating the dynamic family experience that me and my wife has been experiencing all through southern Massachusetts, and the community that we can the community that we can shed a light on. The media and storytelling about blue collar luxury, lifestyle branding, all these things is signifying the culture, right? That Bricks Coffee wants to represent, and I think that you guys, don't want Bricks Coffee to just be another product. Um, I feel like, I wanted to represent ownership, discipline, family, hard work, and building in real life, and creating that behind the culture. When it comes to subscriptions on the social media, subscriptions online, go online to brickscoffee.com, get your subscription. Get your package monthly, or get it once every 2 weeks. Go subscribe right now. When it comes to local partners, expansion, when it comes to building this legacy in general, staying grounded during the growth is key, is integral. And the first bag represents more than just coffee. It represents the beginning of a brand, a movement, a community, brick by brick, day by day. And that's how real things are built.